This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
You have to be strong in today's world. Keep your focus and what you believe in, how to achieve all your dreams. Keep moving forward.
It's back with Nahaja Black is sponsored by Atlantis Paradise Island, the Ministry of Health, BTC, Fidelity Bank Bahamas, JS Johnson, Cable Bahamas, Rev Christmas, and Baja Retreat and Spa.
It's the hit back with Nahaja Black. It's the hit back with Nahaja Black.
Good afternoon, Bahamas, and welcome to the Head Back. I'm your host, Nahaja Black. It is a beautiful day here in the 242. It's Monday, y'all. I hope you're doing well, taking care of yourself, living your best life today. We got a lot of news for you today. We've experienced 2 downgrades. One's bad and one's good. We will discuss that also on the show. There is some discussion of vaccine for kids, the debate of vaccination for kids. I'm looking forward to that conversation as well. And I've got my good friend C.A. Nuri joining me at this 4 o'clock hour throughout the rest of the show. Then Dr. Chris Curry will be joining us at 5 o'clock today. So we are going to have a nice, robust conversation on a Monday. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to tap into. But before we get started with that, this is a special month to our brothers, right? There's always seemingly something going on where we seem to miss our young men, miss the generation, miss all of these young men that are impacting the country. I want to welcome on the show with us Mr. David Williams, who is one of the central organizers and founders of this event here in the Bahamas. Mr. Williams, tell me a bit about, well, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you, and good afternoon to everybody listening in, and to you and Mr. C.A. Nuri. Since I'm familiar with you all, normally this is my 4 o'clock appointment.
Oh, well, look at God. Won't he do it?
Amen.
So, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Tell us a bit about International Men's Day, but it feels like it's a whole month of activities, Mr. Williams.
What happened is International Men's Day, we're partnering with the Zonta Club as well as Department of Gender and Family Affairs. But November 19 is International Men's Day throughout the Caribbean. And we began this in the year, actually 2018. And amazingly, there was a mandate given by the then opposition leader, Mr. Philip Brave Davis, to the president, Mr. Keith Cox, who then contacted Mr. Terrence Bettle, now deceased. And Terrence Bettle contacted myself. So I'm actually sitting on the spot where we had our first meeting, which was actually at the gym at COB. And there we began the process in 2018. We had a 2019, 2020. And this week we have a week of activities planned to honor our men.
All right. So tell us why this is important. First and foremost, Mr. Williams, why is it important to honor our men?
Okay, let's look at some of the core objectives of International Men's Day: to promote positive male models, to celebrate men, positive contribution, focus on men's health and well-being, and highlight discrimination against males, to improve gender relations and promote gender equality, and to create a better and a safer place for us as men. You know, and this is why we partner with the Department of Gender and Family Affairs, because what we want to do, the theme in particular for this year, is to focus on building better relationships between men and women. And we started out yesterday actually on a show that I host on another radio station. And some of our guests, we talked about men's mental health, which is very important. Our guests were Dr. Sean Knowles, who shared with us the emotional and the mental challenges that men are faced with. Dr. Donovan Roll, he spoke about physical fitness, the importance of men building their relationship and improving on their physical health. And Dr. L.V. McMillan spoke on men and spirituality and how we can improve our relationship with God first, and then we can improve our relationship with women.
Mm-hmm. So now, all of the events that are happening, when does this week start? And what are all of the events that's to happen?
Tomorrow night, we begin at 7 p.m. at the park in Angliston. We call it a peace and prayer rally. So we want to invite out all the men as well as the ladies to come down to be a part of it. You're going to hear some testimonies from a number of men, in particular, a gentleman who spent some 10 years incarcerated for $500,000 worth of cocaine. And he's going to be there to share his testimony as to how Christ changed and transformed his life, and numerous other men. That's for Tuesday night. And then we also have a youth forum, which is taking place Thursday at Chapel of the Hill. It'll be an outdoor event with Pastor Nathan Wells. And so we're inviting the persons can drive up and be a part of it. There's the big stage on the outside. And we're going to have young people, not only in New Providence, but linked with the Family Islands. And young girls, young men will be sharing how can they improve better relationships with one another. And then Thursday night, we're going to have, Thursday night is the youth forum, that's correct. And then on Friday is the big day, which is International Men's Day. And so we want to invite as much men and ladies to come out and support. We will have our Prime Minister on hand, as well as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister the Honorable Fred Mitchell. Also, along with the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis will be his wife, Mistress Ann Davis. Also, there will be the Minister responsible for Social Services, the Honorable Obi Richcom, and a number of other cabinet ministers and other persons, parliamentary secretaries. And that we were going to honor a number of men from not only New Providence, but throughout the Family Islands. And this year, we have added a new area, recognizing the persons who are disabled. And so we have a young man there. I think it's, I don't remember his first name, he's Akash. And he will be honored for his work in the disabled community. We also have Miss Erin Brown. She's supposed to be a part of us. I think she might be traveling, but she is going to be a part of it if she's still here in town. And then Friday night, we're having a adult forum where we're going to have men and women, married couples, as well as single, as well as we're scheduled for a number of other guests to talk about how can men and women improve better relationships between themselves. Oh, one last thing. Keep, as a part of the ceremonies, we're going to honor Terrence Bethel. His family will be there because, like I said, he was one of the original founders along with the President Keith Cox and myself. And so we're going to honor his memory, at least. His family will be there. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister the Honorable Fred Mitchell, will make a presentation to the family. So that's a number of events we have planned to honor our men.
Yeah. And thank you so much for that. This is a big topic, and I remember Terrence, loved him. I used to like running into Terrence at Fusion, just randomly. He'd be sitting there and, having his coffee. So he's definitely going to be missed at this event. This was a big deal for him many times. He and I spoke about what you guys were doing. So let me ask you this before I let you go, Mr. Williams, as you talk about International Men's Week. What is the outcome that you hope for this? Not just this week, but what is the outcome that you hope for our men, our young boys?
The outcome is basically tied in with the theme, and that is improving a better relationship between men and women. But one of the key things is we partnered with the Zona Club in terms of stopping the violence against the women and the young girls. And so that's the outcome. Also, myself and my Kendra Bow, she and I began last year. We had the first program that focused on we had the program under the Department of Corrections, and this was a key program, so this is a part of the outcome. We started a program at the Department of Corrections with 25 young men, sex offenders. We talked about rape prevention, myths of rape, improving conflict resolution. So the outcome of this is to improve and to build better relationship between our men and women. If that can be accomplished as we have the conversation and the various events, that itself will be something positive, and we'd be able to clap hands. We'd be able to leave rejoicing. I also want to mention at Bozeman Town, there's a social event planned for the men beginning at 4 p.m. And so we want to invite as much men to come out. There's a backgammon tournament. There's a dominoes tournament. There's a chess tournament. And there will be prizes. So we're hoping to bridge the gap to bring men together. And let's discuss. Let's see how we as men can support our women. Let's stop some of the situations that recently happened with the young ladies. Let's talk about the conflict resolution. And let's reach out to men. And the last thing, I work with Prison Fellowship Bahamas. I'm a director. I was at the transitional home where we have a number of men. One young man came to me last night and he said to me, I have an anger issue. I spent 22 years incarcerated because of my anger, and I admitted in court, and the judge sentenced me. And he said, now he needs treatment in that area. And as a result of that, I was able to quickly message Dr. Sean Knowles. He gave me some information, told me who to contact, and promised me he'll follow up. So if we can have these, the results of reaching out to a man, where a man is willing to be open and to say, hey, I have a challenge, I have a problem, I need help, and we're able to facilitate putting them in contact with individuals who are able to assist them and to help them, then I think at the end of the day, this would be a positive outcome.
Yeah, no, and that's without a doubt. Tell folks, how can people reach you, see all of these events? Is there a Facebook page? Where do folks get a concise list of all of these events for this week, Mr. Williams?
Okay, yes, we do have the International Men's Day Bahamas Committee Facebook page. I will also give my personal number. It's 433-6917. I will repeat it slowly. 433-6917. You can send me a WhatsApp, and I will WhatsApp you a list of all the events and any other information that you wish to be a part of. 433-6917.
Mr. Williams, thank you so much. David Williams, International Men's Week. It starts tonight or tomorrow night, you said?
So it started yesterday with a show, but tomorrow night, a peace rally at the park at New Angliston, right there on Balfour Avenue, and I think that's, I don't remember, but Lincoln Boulevard, right, on Cordova Avenue.
Yeah.
7 p.m., peace rally.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Mr. Williams. And maybe we do something again where we talk about some of the issues affecting men. Those topics that you hit on sounds like a longer show to me. So thank you so much.
Thank you too very much. Appreciate it.
All right. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja, Black Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We got to support, our brothers and sisters, man. I agree with you. And in particular, our men need support. We got a lot of stuff for women, and ladies, we need support. But our men need to know and need help. They need help. A lot of us haven't had fathers to be fathers to us. And, so there's a need for that good male role model. And a lot of our men have tried to figure it out, even with fathers, have tried to figure it out with our brothers, and they've done as good as they can. And we, as women, have to understand that there are limitations for their abilities. As we seek counseling, it's easy for us as women to say we need help. It is built in us, right? We need that village. But men somehow, with the cultural teachings and trainings, have been taught that they've got to solve the problems alone. And when they do reach out, it's not that deep sort of conversation. The other guy might say, this is too touchy-feely for me. I don't know how to handle this. You start hearing stuff like, you like Manny, why are you crying? So this is where we all need some emotional intelligence and realize that these are hurting men. Men are hurting. And, there's a lot of grief in this country, because I always have an issue when we don't seem to grieve the fact that young men are being wiped out by bullets or violent crime. We don't cry loud enough. We'll be back, though. When we come back, my good friend C.A. Nuru will be joining me. We got a lot of headline news. Kareem says, power on to powerful. Amen. I like that one. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja, Black Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. We'll be back right after this.
Ben, why are you so nervous about getting the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't know. I've been hearing the doctors, seeing things on social media. One article say this, one story say that, and I don't think I know enough about the vaccine.
Okay, let me help you out. Vaccinated people are less likely to get seriously ill from COVID-19, less likely to be admitted to hospital, and less likely to die from COVID-19.
Kelly, I don't want to end up in hospital.
Ben, the vaccine even provides protection against the new variants of COVID-19. And that's good news.
Kelly, I like how you put it. Thanks. You could help me make my COVID-19 vaccine appointment, please?
Definitely. Don't procrastinate. Vaccinate.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health and this radio station.
At Fidelity, the holidays are all about family, spending time with loved ones, and being thankful for the little things in life. Worrying about bills should be the last thing on your mind, especially during the holidays. Let Fidelity help you get your bills under control. Fidelity can also get you started with a real savings plan that actually pays you interest. The only thing you need to think about is what you will do with the savings in your pocket this Christmas. Now that's what I'm talking about. Fidelity Bank is here for you this holiday season because you are family, and family is important to us.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's the hit back with Nahaja Black. It's the hit back with Nahaja Black. It's the hit back with Nahaja Black. It's the hit back with Nahaja Black.
Listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. My good friend, all the way from wherever he is with a green background, C.A. Nuri. What's up, buddy?
Hello, Nahaja. It's always good to be invited to be on your show. That I enjoyed that interview just now. You know, when you felt the passion, I felt the compassion and conviction of the gentleman, and I bought into it. I bought into it, and I wanted to participate. And I'll encourage more men to join in and to help this cause. Men do need help. We need support, and we need ideas. I remember I had the privilege of tutoring at-risk kids. And one of the issues they had was a disconnect with their fellow female counterparts. They just didn't know how to socialize with them. And you will ask, what do you mean you don't know how to socialize? A number of their commentary, which they consider as flirting innocently, which they thought was cute and that girls enjoyed, young women enjoyed, they didn't realize that was insulting. And they said, what is insulting about telling her that she's shaped nicely and that I want to get to know her and following her because I admire her, and not realizing that that's a rapey type of culture, right? Yeah. So I think that more men need to have this conversation and with fellow men so we can understand this is the right way to treat women. This is the right way to have conversations with women. This is the right way to pursue women and understand the hiccups, the anomalies, and so we could just better communicate and get along. But definitely we men need support. Men need ideas on how to better our lives, how to take care of our children and our wives. And I'm excited about it. I'm definitely excited. Two of the persons on the panel he called Dr. Sean Knowles and Dr. Donovan Roll, I went to school with, coincidentally. So I kind of feel privileged that such men of such caliber went to a particular school and are doing well. And they are championing the cause of men, and that they are on board with this. And that this is a good cause happening. And I may have to go down there and beat up some people on playing some chess and see what kind of prize they have down there. Free time.
Well, listen, I was thinking when he said it, I didn't hear him say checkers, because my daddy is a checker champion. And again, my daddy has beat people in checkers a lot, and he's trash talk. And I know he's listening, and he's trash talk, and he stutters. So this would be a long-winded trash talk.
Oh, God.
It'll take some time, but it is line heavy. And I like it for it. Oh, it is hurt. He say it loud, and it'll take a while.
Straight palm.
Oh. He's called everybody a ham, but then the ham don't come out quick. It'll take a while to be a ham. But boy, by the time that land, game over.
Yes.
Game over. He's a champion. Shout out to my dad, who I love to pieces. I know he's laughing right now. I just know it. Love you, Roger. CA, how you doing, buddy? You look good in purple.
Well, back in the days when I used to model, I kind of carry off a number of colors, but that fuchsia and pink is my color. And you just see me looking in the closet, what color to wear? And out of the pink shirts, I said, let me go with purple because I should look debonair in this purple shirt.
I didn't say all of that, but I guess. Okay. If that's the kind of Monday you having.
Yes.
All righty. All right. I mean, I support you, buddy.
I appreciate the support.
Here for you any kind of time.
We need to highlight Bahamian models, and I find that there needs to be a movement to speak about us retired models and to encourage us and to help and mentor the new age models of the Bahamas. And I think that's, like Miss Pia Glover, they need to bring us back. They need to bring us back because I haven't walked the runway in some years now. I put on some weight.
What happened, Cecil? You put on some weight?
I put on some weight, but I still look good.
Okay. All right.
That's the wife. Yeah, I still look good.
I mean, the wife loves you. That's what that papers make us do, The paper makes you good and in bad, in sickness and in health.
That's what it is. Paper. Yeah. I'm surprised. I support her supporting me. That's good.
That's a good wife. Just keep on pressing on. Keep pressing on. All right. Let's see. Happy to know they brought back the retired models.
Yes.
We got how many beauty? Okay, we have Bryce, former beauty queen, right?
Yes.
And Pia Glover. So beauty queens rock, right? Nicole, listen to these people extra. Purple is royalty. Y'all don't give Cecil no ideas, please.
They see it. It reminds me of when I was younger and I told people I was a Nigerian prince. It didn't go well when I got older, but I mean, it helped me in dealing with my inferiority complex in early grade 7, grade 8. That I was some African prince, I had a whole tribe, so it's good, and followers and servants.
Mind you, it could sell. You could have gotten yourself a bride, even.
Yeah,
it could sell.
Mail order. I could have imported her, but it didn't work out. No.
Yeah. Someone says he got a great smile for camera. That's about it. Sonny says, I want you to ask him about his modeling days. No, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. No.
Wrong time. Yeah.
No, this is a real show.
Swimsuit model too. Briefs. I had briefs. I wore a lot of briefs. You may have seen some pictures around. You just didn't know that it was me on WhatsApp.
And it's a beautiful day, everybody. It just briefs, Cecil.
Yeah, a lot of briefs.
I try to have a sensible show at least once a week. I really try to do this. You just don't make it easy.
You shouldn't invite me. Just shouldn't invite me if you're not supposed to agenda.
I try to have an adult show and briefs. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
On WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. I still can forward them and I have a couple on my phone.
They didn't make it to magazines though.
No. But model all the same. Yeah.
All right, but look at God sparing our eyes. Someone say, "What's up, Daddy?" Oh, it's a hit back with Nahaja Black Monday. Cecil is a "What's up" model, everyone. 2 for 10. 2 for 10. Oh, okay. Someone says way too much info, Cecil. Way too much. All right. It's a beautiful Monday.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, no, you have me flashing back to what I hope would never be a reality. I gotta ask your wife. See some of the WhatsApp pictures. It's a beautiful day, everyone. Hope you're doing well, taking care of yourself. Rain says, "Blessed Redeemer." Thank you, Wayne. Rain knows we have to go and pray because Cecil talking the most fool on this good Monday. All right, everybody. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, CA. Our good friend Chris Curry, Dr. Curry, will be joining us at 5. We also have Cable Bahamas is doing this promotion for the holidays. Cecil, have you ever won anything recently? Like you win anything? I don't win anything.
I won recently. I need to win more stuff. I don't like paying for things. My favorite morning television show, I won on that. So.
Oh yes. What's the name of the show? Bahamas at Sunrise.
Bahamas at Sunrise. Yes.
Yeah, Bahamas at Sunrise. Look at you winning stuff. I mean, I can't win nothing. I can't even. Well, wait. No, technically that cruise thing wasn't a winning thing.
But you're going there free all the same.
Yeah, that was free. That was definitely free. Free for free. All right. So we got some stuff in the news today. We got, of course, the announcement came right after the show. My good friend C.A. Newry joining us on the show today. The announcement came, I think I got the S&P report Saturday morning. The S&P report Saturday morning was that we were going to be downgraded, but I want to read it to you a little bit because it sounded so upbeat. For them saying, you look bad, but you're smaller than you was last week. It felt like a kind of a, like, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, still look tore up. And for that, I can't date you now. But I heard you getting a coupon for body wax and like sugaring. So let's talk next month. That's how it came across to me. Like we kind of, we still tore up right now. And, but I feel as if you're going to get you're going to run into some cash and I might date you. So let's talk. I thought it was the most interesting, like, rejection ever. Like the best letter of you ain't worth it, but it ain't me, it's you. I wanted to get your thoughts on the downgrade, CA.
It reminded me of a Facebook friend of mine's, right? She is or was 540 pounds. And now she's being promoted all over social media of losing 100 pounds in 1 month. Mind you, she's still big. She's still big now, right? But you can see that she's slimming down, and we need to congratulate her for that, right? But that being said, it's always good to get bad news in a positive, upbeat way. And it gives the country hope that things can change. So I appreciate it. I am used to Standard & Poor's and Moody downgrading the Bahamas. Mm-hmm. It does no longer put me in a panic where I complain so much. I just say deal with it. I see Mr. Halkidas said that the government will respond. We have some initiatives, and I feel positive about it. So I see money coming. Money is on the ground. I think the singing bishop sang a song about that money coming, and tourism is upbeat, right? The hotels are up to 70-80% in occupancy. I think there's going to be a strong Christmas, and I think things are returning to how it was almost pre-COVID. So I expect that there'll be some upgrades in the immediate and short future.
Yeah, I'm with you on that as well. I mean, listen, I had to read this thing about 3 times just to make sure what they were saying was what they were saying, because it felt like it was positive, but it was definitely negative. So, so I had to. It was the weirdest. They were clear what they said, right? It says, okay, so this is what it was. The lingering financial impacts of Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 pandemic has considerably reduced the Bahamas' fiscal flexibility and its capacity to address future shocks. The failure of successive governments to implement timely and effective reforms has weakened public finances, created a high debt burden, and increased funding pressure. Sounds normal. Yeah, sounds like, consecutive years of downgrading info. We are lowering our long-term foreign and local currency sovereign credit ratings on the Bahamas to B+ from BB-. The stable outlook reflects our view that an improving economy will bolster government revenues even in the absence of meaningful fiscal reforms. And I'm like, okay, well, the stable outlook. I was like, where that outlook is? You just told me you lowering us. But the stable outlook reflects our view that an improving economy will bolster government revenues even in the absence of meaningful fiscal reform. I was like, I hear you. I don't feel you. It just was a weird statement.
I appreciate what they said. I understood that we are ahead in our I'm trying to get the right word for it. You're the economist. We are ahead with our numbers.
With our projections,
Yeah, our predictions. And I believe they see that. They see that money is coming, that the tourism is
returning. See the money.
But the truth is, there hasn't been any reforms. You spoke to Mr. Halkidas in terms of what are the goals, the mandate of the government in terms of increasing productivity and the economy. And that I listened to the interview, and I wasn't comfortable. I was not comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a lot of wait and see type response.
That's what I heard, and stuff where he was saying, I'm excited about. And I'm like, okay, I hear that. I'm excited with you. I'm feeling like I should go into this rabbit hole. I'm excited. Whatever you're excited about, I'm excited with you. But what are we excited about? Because right now, I need all of this excitement to manifest into something real, right? Because this is where we are in country. Where we are in country is we need this government to be successful. That's it.
I think this report echoes that same sentiment that we see it improving, but it's not based because of you. You're not doing it at all.
No meaningful fiscal reforms. It's damning. It's damning on the prior administration that did fiscal reforms, and this S&P is saying it was not meaningful. What? That's hurtful. All of that. That's. I don't know if you hurt, but I'm hurt. Because I thought all of that we did with the fiscal, what was it? The fiscal something act. I mean,
responsibility,
that thing. Yeah. And then they say, the stable outlook reflects our view that an improving economy will bolster government revenues, even in the absence of meaningful fiscal reforms. And you're sitting here like, well, that whole time, nothing meaningful? That was hurtful. I walked away very hurt by that. And so here we go. It is what it is at this point. I don't. Hopefully, I mean, how many more alphabets in the S&P downturn? Like, how much more do we go? Because, we're moving to B plus from BB minus. So I guess you could go to A, like A plus. Like we could go all the way there. It's a lot.
I think it's B plus plus, then A minus minus.
It's like batteries. We're getting different battery sizes. Yeah, it's a whole other kettle of fish. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, CA, I don't know if you've been tuning in, but now we are having F&M leadership conventions. I thought that was interesting. Plus, that was one downgrade, but there was another positive downgrade. It was a positive downgrade where we are no longer, we'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We'll be back right after this.
We are working to protect our country, our people, and our livelihoods so that we can move forward. The vaccine is safe. The vaccine is easy. The vaccine is essential for our recovery. If we want to rebuild our economy, if we want to get back to our jobs, if we want to get back to our lives, our families, we must do this together.
Rev customers already get more channels, more sports, and more speed. Now, we're giving more Christmas with up to $250,000 in cash and prizes. Sign up or upgrade to Rev Trio to win prizes like rent and mortgage payments, trips to see your favorite sports teams, plus up to $20,000 in our Rev Cash Vault. Want to win more Christmas? Call 601-8992 today and ask for Rev Trio. Rev, you and us together.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black.
You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. My good friend, C.A. Nuri, joining me on the show today. It's Monday, y'all, so we got headlines today talking about various topics and conversations. C.A. broke the news that he was a male model back in the day, and it was always WhatsApp. So I don't know how far back in the day, because WhatsApp ain't as old as he is, but nonetheless, maybe it was a message.
I even had an entire season named after me. Something like Gnap, some kind of fruit. I used to model there. Yeah.
It was the Gnap.
Like Gilly season, mangoes. No, I digress.
It wasn't mango. Let's
move on. It's like grape, grape season, something like that. I forget the business a while back.
It was definitely a while back, my boy. Definitely
it was a while back. Yep.
Acorn season. Anyways, so we had a positive downgrade, though. I don't know. Yeah, I know you catch that late. We had a positive downgrade though, which was the downgrading from a level 4 to a level 3 in the travel advisory, which was a big deal. We say nothing wrong with dreaming. What are you? I thought that was great news, but that was announced at the press. I think the press statement, or the press secretary, the national press conference, whatever it was, and the chief medical officer, Pro McMillan, mentioned it at the press conference there at the office of the prime minister. And the great news is now that means that we can get our groups back. We can get all of these different conventions. All of these things can come back into country now that America has reduced the level from 4 to 3. And you know what I was supposed to check? I wonder what our global COVID rating is now. I would like to know what our global COVID, remember, because we were following that, the GCI, Global COVID Index. I have to check, CA. But your thoughts on the numbers now coming to the point where we are able to move from level 4 to level 3, and what that means for us. I think it's obviously it's great news.
And you know, I'm one of those type of persons who celebrate any good news, and this was good news. The level 4 was concerning, right? It hampered tourism, right? Even though we had some good numbers. So I think this level 3 will also encourage tourism and more people to feel comfortable to come to Bahamas and socialize with us. It tells a tale about what is happening on the ground, right? Our numbers are trending downward. The hospitalization is going downward. The serious sickness is going downward, and it's something for Bahamians to celebrate, because we are doing something right. I'm always encouraging people to wear the mask, always encouraging people to social distance, and follow the regular protocols, right? I see that the government has adopted their new mandate by discontinuing the emergency orders and following this new laws they plan to enact. And that's something to celebrate also, that we are matured enough to do that. And we'll see how Bahamians are able to manage within such situations moving forward, you know? And that's something I celebrate, and kudos to the government, kudos to all of those persons on the front line who are dealing with this.
Yeah, and our GCI rating we're 104, so we've moved up quite a bit.
Moved up a lot,
quite a bit.
Push to the last two, kind of in the middle.
Kind of in the middle. I got to figure out exactly where that ranks overall with other countries in terms of. Well, obviously we know where we are, 104 out of 180, but I wonder what are the factors for it. But that's interesting. That's actually pretty good. You know, our recovery index out of 100 is 53.45, and 100 being the best, 0 being the worst. Okay, so we're better than worse. We tipping over closer to. We got some sort of sense to where we probably were second to last.
There is movement. But by the grace of God, go us.
Hello. You know? Now we had a big event over at Breezes, and the big question or concern is all of these people not social distancing, not wearing masks, etc. How does that affect our COVID numbers? Was that a giant mistake?
And Nahaja, even though I appreciate your sentiments and the concern,
I'm just asking.
I want to commend. I want to commend the organizers for what they attempted to pull off and what were the prerequisites to go in. First, everybody who attended had to have the COVID vaccine.
Let me just say this. Hold on, before you go any further. I knew of the event long before it was to happen. I was told of the protocols long before it was to happen. I was told about all of the mitigation efforts and et cetera. And I figured that it would be, at least based on what was said to me, it sounded well thought out, considering all of the COVID rules and concerns. So I thought it was well thought out in terms of their testing and how they were rigorous with testing, vaccinations, et cetera. So, and persons who went there seemed quite happy. Now we will see if those things panned out. But I'm to the place, CA, just for the note, where we have to figure out how to still live, do business with COVID being in the world. And that shouldn't, we're a destination space and place. And if we're being told to vaccinate, then we should be able to, if you're telling the world that we need to vaccinate, vaccination is the only way to get back to business, then we should get back to business if people are vaccinated. If you're saying then we shouldn't get back to business, even though we are vaccinated, then stop the vaccinations, it's not working. So we got to pick our poison, right? And so that is where my only thing is, at some point you have to rely or trust on the vaccines to do what you tell us that they're going to do, or else they're not doing what you told us they were able to do. And that's my thing. And we have to get back to some level of business. And so based on what I knew were the parameters, they did a good, I honestly, I didn't realize the concert was this weekend. I was way down the road. Now your thoughts.
No, I just want to commend them. I like I said, everybody was vaccinated. They had to do COVID test to enter, right? So they had a number of protocols. So I appreciate that. That being said, sporting events are returning, right? My daughter swims, right?
Right.
And they are asking for the swimmers to be vaccinated, and the volunteers and the coaches, and I thought it was kind of heavy.
Mandating.
Mandating is a better word. Mandating is a better word.
That's what I saw. It was a mandate.
And I'm still a little concerned about asking children, or mandating children to be vaccinated, right? But it is what it is. I think that the entire process is kind of costly. And when I say kind of costly, because of COVID and the expenses, the price has increased, right? It has increased by basically 100%, right? Swimming is expensive. They're also demanding that you take COVID test before you come in on the ground.
Even if you're vaccinated.
Even if you're vaccinated. I just want to voice it out, just so the persons who out there hear me, that perhaps I have a little concern, and I appreciate you allowing me to say that. Yes, you need to take a rapid COVID test and be vaccinated beforehand, plus the increase of price. But like I say, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to create a safe environment for our kids and for those persons participating. Just that it will be a more expensive event for sporting in the Bahamas moving forward if this is the mandate. Because government has mandated inside their rules that everyone who is going to be participating in sports be vaccinated. But the vaccinated
and the persons in stands, that's a lot to me. I don't think they thought because if you're not mandating it anywhere else, you didn't, are you mandating it for every event? I'm trying to figure out how this logic is, how does it work with sports, especially for those outdoor sports.
And they need to consider the parents and sports. I'm sorry?
I say especially for outdoor sports.
Especially if you're outdoor sports, and I think sports in general need to be measured differently. What is good for swimming may not be good for softball or basketball, because that's more interactive, right? And I think it may be heavy-handed, even though, like I said, I understand what they're doing. But there needs to be more discussion with parents moving forward, so you don't disenfranchise a number of kids who sports is important too. Because, like I said, it has become a financial burden now. To being a part of swimming is a burden by itself. But
swimming is not cheap.
These extra costs is something to consider.
So you have to be vaccinated. You have to take a test.
Take the test before.
Even though you're vaccinated.
And let me give you a typical rundown. Right? Let me give you a typical rundown. Usually, a child would pay $5 to register to swim. Then there'll be a $3 fee per event. It changed now to $10 to register to swim and $5 per event, right? Okay. And then you add on the antigen test on top of that, which only lasts for a week, and you can swim every week. So there's something to have conversations about, and I'm hoping that the league, the federation, discusses with parents that we were all on board and how continue to have our kids participate.
Yeah, no, that my question is too for we know that kids and athletes tend to, because of the quality of their immune system, they tend to vibe better. So why are we mandating that kids get vaccinated when there has been less testing and less time with even the vaccines for children? We got some challenges with adults taking vaccines. Now you're talking about mandating children to take vaccines to be a part of sports. Athletes are healthier, hopefully, right? I would hope, since you're an athlete. Why then are you putting something in the system where they're more likely, not the vaccine itself, but where COVID is more likely or less likely to affect them like it would other people and their children, who would get lesser of an effect? However, we have seen in this Delta variant, children having more adverse effects from COVID-19. And so I understand where, and every parent makes the decision if they want to get their kids vaccinated or not. But I don't like the idea of mandating vaccines in particular for children, and for athletes. Again, and I have an issue with that. And I think that we need to hear more from about this. Why that particular group? If any group, that ain't the group. I'm telling you, as a woman who took the vaccine, a lot of us sisters can tell you that things went awry after taking the vaccine. Now, mind you, I ain't catch COVID yet, since, I feel pretty good. I ain't gonna lie to you. Nothing else has gone wrong. I'm feeling pretty good. But, a lot of us women could call the hotline and say, some things ain't working with the clock no more that they used to. So I'm always concerned, listen, but what about the kids? And I think that there's more there, and there should be no mandate for our children to be vaccinated. Period, bar none. I just have an issue with that. Don't mess with maturing. I'll take it, but I know about them maturing. Now I know, CA, you don't have a problem necessarily with kids, with the vaccine, and I don't have a problem with that. I'll take it. But I don't know, boy. I don't know.
And especially for kids under 11, because remember, swimming starts from 4, 5, right? And you're now mandating that these 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds take the antigen test to compete, and the constant every week doing that. So it's something I'm a little concerned about, uneasy. That's the right word. I'm uneasy about. But like I said, I'm prepared to have the tough discussion. And I'm hoping that they welcome feedback and that they're able to consider suggestions from the parents.
Yeah, no, and then vaccinated plus got to take a test every week. Jesus, what's the purpose of the vaccine, man? You're killing me here. You're killing me. I have a question. My question. Crazy. Yeah, my question is, when does it end? When does it end? What is the metric that it ends? Because let's just go with, let's say the entire world gets the shot. But now you're saying that we need boosters too. You're talking with studies about efficacy. Let's say the entire world gets the shot. Do we stop taking the shots then? Do we stop wearing masks? When does it end? Because if we are talking about an inevitable fourth wave, right? Countries that have 80% vaccinations are getting COVID again. Are we chasing our tail by testing for COVID? Right? When does it end? Nobody said, how do you know when it ends? Because we were told when you get vaccinated, you'll be straight. But we still catching it. We're still catching it if you're vaccinated. There are reports, and I know one for certain, you could be vaccinated and succumb to it. So when does it end? And my whole thing is, are we talking perpetual for forever COVID tests? All we're doing is making people rich. 900,000 tests were allegedly done by one company in 1 year. Put that at $145 a piece. All right.
And perhaps we should have considered the phrase "the new normal," and we thought of something flippantly for right then. Perhaps when you talk about longevity, the new normal means forever. This is the new us.
Yeah,
that we'll be wearing masks. And remember, persons in Japan have been wearing masks for decades, right? For whatever reason, because they dealt with the SARS and for whatever decisions they decided to wear masks. Perhaps this is us now, our new normal moving forward.
Listen, man, I know I can't live in this dystopian era of the new world, right? At some point, we are going to have to trust and treatment. That's it. Treatment should be the focus. I agree, Siobhan. Treatment should be the focus. all of this madness about consistently, continuously talking about just this vaccine, keep going. All of this is nonsense to me, because now it's beginning to look like we are really doing this to keep folks, making some serious dollars. When are we going to talk about treatment issues? I don't have a problem. I do believe that personally, I like AstraZeneca better than the other ones. Personally, I like that one. I ain't too keen on J&J, but I would stick with that type. I ain't too keen on them other set, but that's just me, a personal vibe, right? I told my mommy, I told my daddy, y'all get that AZ one. I know, but them other set, get AZ. But all I'm saying is, at some point, we start looking at it. I tell you, I don't know why they really emotions about treatment. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's 5:00. We'll have the news, Dr. Chris Curry, and some information on Cable's big gig. We'll be back right after this. I was going to say something else, but it didn't make no sense. We'll be back after this.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's the hit back with Nahaja Black. It's the hit back with Nahaja Black. It's the hit back with Nahaja Black. It's the hit back with Nahaja Black.
We're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I got my good friend C.A. Newry joining me, and special guest as always. Now, look, I feel like we should have him as a regular on Monday, C.A. Dr. Chris Curry. Yeah, look at you. It's so good to see you, buddy. And nobody's
I always get excited to see my cousin.
Yes. Only family here today. It's good to be here on the show.
I'm just so moved by how we look alike. This is a powerful family, man.
You just don't squint your eyes enough. If you squint your eyes, you can see striking resemblance. Look at the forehead.
Yes, it's all at the forehead.
Yes.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking for. Shine? Is this what I'm supposed to be looking for? Grease?
Absolutely.
It's so good to have you both on the show with me today. It's Monday. Chris, always a pleasure to have you on. Of course, C.A. Newry has divulged so many manly things, like he was a male model only for WhatsApp, and that he modeled briefs. And I feel like all of us should take a moment of just pure joy that we missed that segment of his life. who are not privy to the briefs of C.A.
I made a lot of money back then. Just saying. It paid the bills.
I wasn't ready for that part. I said paid the bills. I was not ready. All right. So, Chris, before we get moving and switching gears, right, I wanted to ask your thoughts on, and then people just keep on laughing at you, laughing with you, CA, not laughing at you, laughing with you. I wanted to get your thoughts, Chris, on the two downgrades, one good, one bad. That's what I want to know. The one bad is, of course, S&P said that they got they're lowering us from a B to a B plus from a BB minus, but our stable outlook, is giving them some optimism of our growth, even though we did no meaningful fiscal reforms prior. So That's one thing. And then the other one is the positive downgrade where we move from level 4 to level 3. I wanted to get your thoughts.
Well, when you talk about the Bahamian economy, we have to remember that our GDP masks the real economic woes that our country is really going through and really has been going through for 2 decades. We'd like to think that, things were better before Dorian and COVID-19, but the reality, we haven't had any real economic growth of 2 to 3%, even 4% since around 2002. Remember, we had Francis and Jean. We had the global economic recession and the banks closing in the U.S. around 2008. We had the war on terror that affected us even before that, 2001, and 9/11. We just had a series of unfortunate circumstances globally that have impacted our tourism industry, which, as you know, is our bread and butter, is the goose that lays the golden egg. And so while we can boast, I saw a stat today somewhere that said the Bahamas has the healthiest economy in the region. We're ranked number 1. But, that was based on GDP. Well, if you take out Port New Providence, Paradise Island, and Lightfoot Key, and all the wealthy people that contribute to that GDP, really what we have is a growing chasm in our society between the haves and the have-nots. And we haven't generated real economic growth that can be measured in something other than GDP in some time. So I think that downgrade speaks to the continuation of a malaise that has lasted a long time. I think the other side, the upgrade is really good. I know everyone is so excited about it with tourism and on all of that. But, the warning, the cautionary flag there is we must always be prepared for another wave of COVID. We can't celebrate just yet. I know we're out of November 13th and all those curfews are a thing of the past. They're in the rearview mirror now. But in the front on the dashboard that I'm looking at as I'm driving around is we've got to still take the precautionary measures, the distancing, still got to wear my mask.
Yep. Still
got to wash my hands, really wash my hands. Still got to do the things that we were told that we had to do for a long time.
I won't lie to you, right? This excessive washing of hands, this is not good for my nails. I just want you to know there's some oils. I need to travel with oils. This is just not good for my cuticles.
Yeah, I was saying that today. My nails are looking pretty dry right now.
I had to buy special nail oil just to keep the cuticles and the nails happy. But we digress. Dr. Chris Curry, CA, and you rejoining us. So something else that has been going on over the weekend, guys, I wanted to get your thoughts on it. So, we still have to take caution. She's right on that. So the weekend, as you all know, things have been heating up, but not heating up. But they're moving forward with the F&M's leadership race, right? And I enjoyed. Of course, Michael Pintard came out of the gate. He did not do a letter. Michael Pintard said, no, letter? Who writes? I am an orator. I will speak to the people. Yes, I will have a socially distanced convention with my folks, and they will applaud this grand announcement. Yeah? I like Michael Pintard, and I thought he was a little nervous. You can tell he was a little nervous. I don't know. Part of it was like, this is my story. I felt like he needed to have some more cadence with it, like a bus or ride on. Like he needed a poem to throw in there. But it's been a while. I'll give him room. But Hiram Lewis this weekend, y'all. Even Kwesi Smith this weekend. But I liked Hiram Lewis's one. I felt the Bahamian is in him. And Chris, I felt that you would have loved the way he kept his dialect strong.
Oh, yes. The code switching is very important.
Yeah, I like it. Hold on. Let's play it.
No matter what you hear through the grapevine, I'm in it for the long haul, and I am in it to win it.
2 weeks before Free National Movement members cast their vote at the party's November 27th convention, Central Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Hiram Lewis promised to ensure that meritorious council members are more respected and involved in the party's decisions if he is elected as leader.
Tonight I ask more from those who have already given so much. Begging on you again. Your party still needs you. As we work to get the F&M back on track, now more than ever, we need your wisdom of those who have already run this race. We salute and thank every one of you for the yeoman's work. We appreciate you and follow in your footsteps. Moving forward, we must ensure that we respect the wisdoms of our FNCM and other freedom fighters.
Lewis, who served as Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture in the Minnis administration, was one of the few F&M cabinet ministers to reclaim their seat in Parliament. Fellow F&M MPs Michael Pintard and Kwesi Thompson are also hoping to lead the party after the upcoming convention. Following a tough loss, Lewis urged party members to soberly and seriously consider the type of leadership they need at this critical time in the F&M. As leader, he pledged to ensure more women to offer themselves for leadership positions.
Whatever we have to do to make it less burdensome to get involved, we will do. Whatever it takes to make them feel safe and, of course, more respected, we will do. After all women have done for us in this party and this country, it's the least we can do for them. I implore women, especially our great women of the Women's Association, to join the Iron Movement. Together, we will build a more balanced organization.
The Central Grand Bahama MP added that for far too long, F&M foot soldiers have felt ignored, overlooked, and taken for granted despite attending party events, walking the streets during campaigns, and defending their party. He vowed to change that by ensuring that all members feel included, from the party volunteers to elected officials.
Whether you are a volunteer canvassing with a candidate, an election poll worker, a national party officer, a candidate, or a member of parliament, you have a role to play in getting our party back on track. You have a stake in this fight, and I'm offering myself for leadership to ensure you have your say. Allow me to lead the charge in rebuilding this great free national movement.
I thought it was powerful. Yeah. Oh, it was good. Oh, yeah. Y'all didn't feel that? I felt that I was bored out of my mind. I'm glad you was there.
I feel a thing. But I'm glad that you finally confessed that you're bored out of your mind.
I was bored out of my mind. That was pretty dry. But he needed a DJ. He needed a DJ so that every time he paused, you could hear something. Iram! Something. It was boring.
He needs to be on a rally stage, yes.
Yeah, no.
But one must commend him that's a beautiful sign. And if I was voting on Sang alone, he'll be ahead.
He had the Valley do that, not the Saxons. It wouldn't have been
Juxtaposed against our current Prime Minister's recent speeches in Glasgow and New York, Iram is a long way to go before you can come up to brave speeches. That sounded dry like bread. I mean, I'm sorry, but there wasn't any oomph to it. He was reading his speech. You could see he was reading from his notes, man. Really get up there and speaking for 5 minutes with not a single look at his paper.
But don't worry, you know that teleprompter life.
And that can be improved upon, because we all know that both our current Prime Minister, Davis, and our former Prime Minister, Minnis, had issues communicating. They have improved tremendously in the last 5 years.
Davis has improved tremendous. Can I just say?
You can actually listen to them. You can listen to them, right?
I'm still shook. I did not see my PM carrying on like how he carried on with these speeches. Shout out to PM Davis, making us all look good on the international stage. Yes. But back to Iram.
Back to Iram. Now, mind you, was that a hotel or some kind of hall? Because I look in the background and see that wooden floor and got concerned. But
that's a hall. That can't be a hotel. I don't think one, unless it's a hotel. That might be. Is Amelia open yet?
I don't know what to say. I don't know.
I need to borrow space. I don't know, but that did not look appealing. I just say it didn't look. It was it was pretty dull. It just was pretty dull.
And I noticed, though, that he was trying to appeal to everybody, meritorious, stalwart, your ladies, your trench workers, your street workers, everybody. This is a big tent. You could fit under my tent. That's what it seemed like to me. Everybody in the party, vote for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he needs to call calling all. What was it? Calling all pause? Isn't that from Paw Patrol? I feel like he's calling all pause, just like everybody. Come. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I feel for
it. It might just work for him. So we wait. I'm hoping that on the 18th that we have a surprise horse inside this race.
Do you think that
this can't be it?
This can't be.
No, we need to have a surprise candidate come out at the last minute and endorsed by Hubert Alexander Ingram, and someone who claims he can mend all the factions that are in the FNM, which we know exist. There's about 4 factions.
Boy, I don't know. Is it Dwayne Sands? I need Dwayne to enter the race. Give me something to talk about, man. Dwayne, enter the race. Dwayne Sands, Dr. Dwayne Sands, enter the race. I've heard from a lot of FNMs that say, no, well, Dwayne isn't the guy anymore. He didn't win his seat. But there got to be someone else you bring in onto the floor, because it's not an exciting bunch, but is it exciting enough for the Free National Movement?
Well, what's also interesting is that you have like the cannibalizing of the Grand Bahamas area, because it's like Pintard going against Lewis. I surprised. Plus, Quasi's thrown in his 2 cents to see. It's like Grand Bahama in this race. We at least have someone from Nassau.
But no, man, the second city is going to be the first. Don't get watching about time. Don't you think it's about time a prime minister came from Grand Bahama so that Grand Bahama finally can get roads, finally can get roofs, finally can get the attention that they've been asking for decades? Give Grand Bahama a prime minister. Grand Bahama, you deserve it. I feel like what's the name of that praise and worship song? You deserve it. They need that one. They need that. Get your PM, Grand Bahama.
Maybe that's the song Lewis should have led off with.
That should be his campaign song.
But definitely, music is important. Moving forward, music is important.
That's the key word. He needs music, because that was dry as chip. That was bad. But people clapped. And I think he should have used that as a sound effect through the entire thing. It was really bad. I didn't know. Maybe it's the news too. Blame the news. Because we only saw in that clip what we saw in the clip.
Yes.
You know? So it could have had great music, and we edited it, right? But it was good. I mean, it was good enough. I wonder if the party is excited. I'm not getting it from many FNMs.
That's what I'm not hearing. I need to hear from this meritorious people and to see what is it that they want in a leader. Where do they see the FNM? I see Dr. Curry mentioned the 5 factions of the FNM. Who are these 5 factions? What are they saying? What are they looking for? What are they prepared to support? You know, and that conversation isn't happening. These conversations are very silo-ish, right? Where the leaders are talking, but not the membership. It should be about the membership and the membership demanding a particular type of leader, and then see what comes out from that. But right now, it's top going downward instead of bottom going up. And the FNM needs to consider that moving forward. What is it that they want to see? And how would they make that national appeal that where they'll galvanate Bahamians in general to re-support the party?
Yeah, and I think it's one of the things that parties miss when they're voting on their leader is just getting a litmus test of who is best to corral the masses, right? Like, consider this. At the beginning part, this is my thoughts here. Y'all tell me your thoughts on this. At the beginning part of a party, especially if you lost the way you lost, the way the previous PLP administration had lost, and now this FNM administration, the previous FNM administration had lost. You take your time, reorganize, self-evaluate, gather yourself, determine who you are, where you want to go from there. But they need a leader, right? So do you wait for your leadership to find its space, determine who that leader is, and then determine your culture, or determine your culture and pick your leader best to lead you out of that space? And I think they put the cart before the horse, because I don't know if they figured out where they went wrong, of had their mea culpa, had they come to Jesus moment as a party. I think the only thing they've walked away with, it was Minnis's fault. We got rid of Minnis. So anyone else is better than Dr. Minnis. I don't think the last FNM convention, people were all involved, right? I think the general public, right? Because we were all entrenched. Loretta Butler Turner is taking on, Dr. Minnis. This one is like, okay. I don't know. I don't feel anything to it. I don't think they're testing us to see where we lie on this. Chris?
Yeah, I was saying, you can't create a vision out of negation. Like, what they're basically saying is we're a better party simply because we got rid of Minnis. But that's not enough. It's just like how we think about Bahamian national identity. We say, well, we ain't Jamaican, we ain't Cuban, and we definitely ain't Haitian. So that's what makes a Bahamian. What we want. So and that's extremely problematic. So we're doing the same. The FNM is saying, well, we got rid of minister, we must be okay, but it's not. You have to replace something negative with something positive. So what is the vision? What is the positive outlook that you have for the country moving forward? And then find a leader who's charismatic on the one hand, but also intelligent on the other. You have to blend the two. You can't have someone who's so brilliant that he can't relate to people, or so relatable but doesn't have any brilliance. You have to have a mix of both.
I don't know who you was calling which was which. I don't know if you was trying to say something, Chris. I'm going to go with you just giving examples. You ain't trying to say nothing. Someone said, if we have a PM from Freeport, we can finally get hurricane dodging recognized as an Olympic sport. I am so optimistic. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more with the Hit Back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. I even forgot about my show name just now with that joke. We'll be back right after this.
J.S. Johnson Insurance agents are the best. Reliable service, we've been on the scene, protecting since 1919. J.S. Johnson Insurance has the test. You're always covering me. J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
With BTC Business's new smart solutions powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black.
Back, you're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, my good friend C.A. Nuri and Dr. Chris Curry joining us. Okay, so someone sent a text and they said, y'all stop, you don't know the inner conversations because you are not members of the party. So how do you know how the communication is flowing?
Okay, then keep it like that way. They can come for my vote again, and I can remind them, I ain't a part of that party. I vote for you. Keep it that way. They take behavior for good.
You know, my whole thing is, though, again, there has to be, you test it. You just test it, right? You test it. Now, mind you, the three contenders, if they're the only three that chooses to run, well, then that's the only three that chooses to run, and the party will make a choice then. And of course, you can call another election later down if you find that you get closer. Isn't it? When is elections? I think elections are supposed to be every 2 years or something like that. So you have time if you find that, okay, this was good for now. The season is good for now. We can, before 2027, I think that's the next one. The election is not 2026. That you may decide that someone else is better suited based on the situations presented today. But I will say, if the party's happy, and we'll be saying, right? Because if the party's happy, then they happy, and they ain't got nothing to do with us anyway. I remember when it was Brave Davis who was nominated or made leader. I'm sitting there, okay, that's what you're doing? Okay, if you're all happy. Well, who knew minutes could be this terrible? But we digress. And the prime ministers looked very good internationally. I got to give him credit. The man, the prime minister has been exceptional. And I was not expecting him to be as good as he was. When we were getting quoted next to Mia Motley, I feel like it's a win. I'm going with that, Chris. I think it's a win. I think we're winning on the international scene. So I just wanted to see. So why are you shaking your head? Chris, why are you shaking your head?
No, I agree completely. I think he's right up there with me. She's number one. He's like 1B, you know. He's really good. She has got a lot of gravitas. A lot of people like her because of the way that she speaks. She speaks with passion. She speaks from her heart. And he has really done well. I don't know if he's being coached by the wife, the holder of the office of the first lady. But I just say whoever is there in his ear helping him, he's definitely done really good. He's done really good.
Yeah. All right, guys. So then let's switch gears to this now. There is this discussion, and there was something on the news, and I noticed the response from folks who were watching it, right? And the responses were interesting. And I kind of shared some of their responses. But I thought, to me, I laughed a bit because, of course, now we're talking about vaccinations or vaccines. The doctors are saying we're making vaccinations. By the way, no one is saying vaccinations are mandatory for children. But there is a discussion now that the vaccines are available, Pfizer, for the ages from 5 and up. So there's a 5 to 11, and then there's 12 and up, I think it is. And folks the responses were interesting to say the least. I wondered, and I want to play the clip for you guys, right? Because I thought it was quite interesting. And I see my guest from Cable Bahamas joining me. So actually, let me do this real quick with Cable Bahamas. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to come back, take this interview with Cable Bahamas, and then I want to ask you guys about the vaccine story. So let's take this quick break. Ollie, you're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja, Black Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We'll be back right after this.
Rejuvenate, refresh, treat yourself. Immerse yourself in total comfort. Pamper yourself. After all, you're worth it. Relax. Rid yourself of all life's stresses. At Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa, you will find everything you need to enhance your body and spirit. Call today at 323-6711 and begin your journey to serenity at Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa.
We are working to protect our country, our people, and our livelihoods so that we can move forward. The vaccine is safe. The vaccine is easy. The vaccine is essential for our recovery. If we want to rebuild our economy, if we want to get back to our jobs, if we want to get back to our lives, our families, we must do this together.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja, Black Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I want to welcome to the show Mark from Rev TV, Cable Bahamas. Mark, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, Nahaja. I'm great. Great being here. What is it that they say in the radio land? Long time listener, first time caller.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that too. I like you, Mark. We're going to be best friends. That's the only line you need to say on the show. And then all of a sudden, we're cousins. I'll tell you that now. Welcome to the family.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Man, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. So, Mark, now I heard you guys, as per usual, Cable Bahamas, Rev TV, you guys are always doing these big, exciting events. And Christmas is my favorite time of the year. And I ain't gonna bring up the fact that I never win nothing, even though I got all kind of cable wares, but we ain't gonna bring that up no more. What is going on, Mark?
Simple stuff, man. Nahaja, if you want to win, just come out to some of our pop-ups, follow us on social media and come out to some of our pop-ups and, you have a chance to win lots of prizes. We just had a pop-up last Saturday and somebody walked away with $500 in cash. So, there are always opportunities for you to win stuff. Just follow us on social media and turn up where we're having the pop-ups.
I'm going on my phone right now after the break. Right now after the break. So technically right now. Mark, so what's going on, man? I like pop-ups. $500 someone walked away from. Tell us about what you guys are, what you're doing, and what you have planned for this upcoming holiday season.
Well, you know, Rev has always been the leader in communications here in the Bahamas, and we have a lot of stuff planned for the upcoming holiday season. I work on the product development side of the game, and you know, my job, I'm tasked with developing new and exciting products for our customers. We just came off of this, you know, the pandemic. It's you know, the curfew's finally been lifted, and we're getting a little bit more freedom just in time for Christmas. But you know, a lot of our customers and a lot of people have been hurting and have been feeling the effect. So, you know, we're just trying to make sure everybody has a feel-good Christmas. And what we're starting out with is we're enhancing our Trio product, which has been our flagship product for about the past 2.5 years, 3 years. And we're enhancing it a little bit more to give customers actually a lot more value for a little bit of money. So that's kind of like the direction that we're taking. And on top of that, we're giving everybody a chance to win. And, you know, while we anticipate and we love that you are our Trio customers, you know, to win, you just have to be a loyal Cable Bahamas customer. You know, we're not really trying to fight it down and have the hard sell this Christmas. You must buy X to win Y. You know, we're making it great for all of our Cable Bahamas customers.
No, I love that. I love the sound of that, Mark. Okay, so then how does this work for us this Christmas? When does the of course, you know, Trio has been a wonderful product for a long time in providing, and I must say, one thing I can say, when I have a problem and I call, you guys show up. You do show up, and I appreciate that when you do show up. And when you say you're going to come, you come. Now, mind you, I've heard other people have a different story, but I'm just going to act like I'm not special, and that just happens for everyone else. So with that said, what do we have to do? So you said, okay, so you're not going to do a hard sell. When does these giveaways start? Sound like it started already. And what do we actually have to do to get involved?
All right, so here's the deal, right? Pay your bill in full, on time, and you get entered to win in our giveaways. Sign up for our Trio product or our new enhanced Trio Plus product, which has a little bit more, actually a lot more stuff on it, and I'd like to talk about that a little bit. Our Trio Plus product, where Trio would include TV, phone, internet, NBA League Pass, NFL Sunday Ticket. We've upped that a little bit more, and we've now increased your internet speed to 100 megabits per second on the Trio platform if you sign up for our Trio Plus. We have added 10 channels of HBO, so you can get a lot of content. HBO Max, of course, is included, where you can get to watch every HBO show that has ever been produced, every season, every single episode, as well as Warner Brothers TV content. I mean, cool stuff, like stuff from my generation, like the Jetsons. Well, actually, the Jetsons is not my generation.
I was about to say, Mark, what generation?
But you know, growing up,
aging you taking?
Yeah, growing up when we only had one TV station and TV used to sign on at 6:30 in the afternoon, and we only had 15 minutes of cartoons. You know, the Jetsons was really appreciated, and every episode from every season of the Jetsons is included. The Sopranos, Sex and the City, all these classic HBO shows, they're all there, and as well as first-run content that is available like 30 days after they have been released in the theater is also available there. So all that, and plus we're also including our new product, which is called the Eero. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's a Wi-Fi mesh. And what we tend to find out is that a lot of our customers, when they do complain about they're having poor internet service, it's not really poor internet service, but poor Wi-Fi service within their home. So somebody may have their modem in the front room, and then they're standing on the edge of the bed in the back room with one hand hanging off the fan, trying to get a signal on their Wi-Fi on their cell phone. Right. Well, the Eero Wi-Fi mesh solves that problem. You get two satellite mesh devices. You plug it into your router, and you plug it somewhere else in your home where you have poor service, and the majority of your Wi-Fi problems are solved. What's great about this is that, if you have kids at home, and I have a 11-year-old, and the pandemic has been really trying on her, and she's been doing remote school, but of course with remote school comes access to electronic devices, and we can't be sitting down there and paying attention at all points just to make sure that she's doing what she's supposed to be doing on the device. So what this does is that it enables you to set limits for your kids. You can set schedules for your kids. You can say, okay, your tablet turns on at 7:30 a.m. and it turns off at this time. Block certain content. You can't partake in any of these adult websites. And it has predetermined age brackets that you could take advantage of. And you could set your kids on that, and you could pause for dinner time, and it just helps to regulate it a little bit more. And the Eero product is a wonderful product, and we're also including this for free with the Trio Plus package.
Okay, tell me more about that Eero. How much is it by itself if I already got Trio? Sorry, this is just now me and you now, Mark. I don't even have a radio show.
All right, if it's by yourself and you already have Trio, you can get it for $10 a month.
Well, go on then. All right.
Right. And just so you know that this device, a lot of people have come to us and say, oh, well, I could just buy this device for myself. But a comparable device to what we're offering, if you go on like Amazon or anywhere like that, it's $500 a one-time fee. And it's $500, then you have to ship it down. And anything goes wrong with it, you have to figure out how you're going to get recourse for fixing it. Any kind of troubleshooting, you need to reach out to, the seller, the vendor, and try and get troubleshooting. What we're offering you is $10 a month. You get it inside your house right away. We have a relationship with the Eero company, so we have all back office support. So you have any problems, you call us and we'll support it. And at $10 a month rental, if BPL or the power company acts up and there's a surge going your way and it gets fried, we'll just replace it for free.
No, now you're talking.
It's a great deal.
Yeah, no. Now you're talking because you just gave me insurance I couldn't get from my power company. Someone says you have to do something about the channels blacking out, though. They've been a long time Trio customer, and they're having this challenge. And they also they don't feel the love because they've been a long time Trio customer. What would you say to that client?
Just bear in mind that our teams are always working on it, and there's a lot of problems with blackout because some of the blackouts have to do with the content providers. While we have licenses to carry the channels here in the Bahamas, there may be independent producers of certain shows that do not license those channels to air that content outside of the United States. One of the most recent ones was I think it was a Princess Diana documentary on CNN, probably Saturday night. The owners of the copyright for that documentary told CNN that they cannot share that outside of the United States. So by law, we have to black it out. But bear in mind that the majority of these content will eventually be available at a later date. You just have to keep checking your guide, and we're doing our best effort to make sure that we keep our customers in the know as to when these contents will be available. And if the customer is still not feeling the love, come on down to one of our pop-ups, pay your bill in full, and enter to win. You could just have a really good time in our cash draw.
So my bill has to be paid up in full, or I just have to pay that month up in full? I need to just check out, Mark. I just need to know which.
Yeah, man, you just need to come there, and whatever your bill, just pay up your bill in full. So, yeah.
All right, when is the next pop-up, Mark?
The next pop-up is happening this week, Saturday. I'm not 100% sure of the location just yet, but just make sure that you guys do follow us on Instagram. Our Facebook social media is extremely active, and you'll get all your answers there if you just keep in touch.
Fantastic. Mark, thank you so much. Appreciate you, my friend. And what do you call it? Eero?
Eero.
Eero.
Yep. Yeah.
How do you spell it?
It's EERO.
EERO. No, I need to know that. We shall talk again, Mark, my friend, because I need an Eero. I got all
definitely. We'll make sure you. Yeah. It's really amazing once you start using it. You'll just be wondering, like, what was I doing before this?
Yeah.
And before I wrap up, Nahaja, I just want to say I do enjoy your show, and one of the greatest shows that you had, I think, was the one with the Chinese ambassador. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And even my 11-year-old daughter, she was like, no, don't change the channel. I want to hear what she has to say.
Oh.
So keep doing the good work and, keep in touch and we'll make sure that you get hooked up with your hero.
I will. Thank you so much, Mark. And that was one of my favorite shows of all time as well. So thank you. Tell your daughter I said hello. Thank you so much.
We'll do that. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That was Mark from Rev. Everyone, listen, go ahead. I'm going to get that hero. I'm getting that for my kids. That's a done deal. I'm going to get that. And if you have any challenges at all, please go and call them. I've had to, one time I had to raise Cain one night, could not get online. And they thoroughly went through that process to help me get resolved. And late night, it was all thing. So special shout out to them. We'll be right back. When we come back, C.A. Nuri, Dr. Chris Curry, we will be back right after this.
Rejuvenate, refresh, treat yourself. Immerse yourself in total comfort. Pamper yourself. After all, you're worth it. Relax. Rid yourself of all life stresses. At Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa, you will find everything you need to enhance your body and spirit. Call today at 323-6711 and begin your journey to serenity at Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa.
We are working to protect our country, our people, and our livelihoods so that we can move forward. The vaccine is safe. The vaccine is easy. The vaccine is essential for our recovery. If we want to rebuild our economy, if we want to get back to our jobs, if we want to get back to our lives, our families, we must do this together.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back with Nahaja Black. It's the Hit Back.
And we're back. You're listening to the Hit Back with Nahaja Black, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. My good friend C.A. Nuri and Dr. Chris Curry joining me on the show. Want to make note, tomorrow, Dr. Edrika Richardson will be joining me on the show tomorrow. And there's a particular season I've never heard anything about. It isn't winter, fall, spring, none of that. None of those things. Chris and CA, have you ever heard of cuffing season? Take that as a no.
Now, if you were to say, have I heard about mango season? I would have answered you, right? But
cuffing season.
Is that have something to do with hugging?
Maybe it does. It's cuffing. It's a very odd one, and I'm not going to say anything else until tomorrow's show. But Chris, when you hear it, what comes to mind?
I'm trying to do a deep thought here. I know that your guest is a psychologist, so it has to be something to do with an adolescent mental issue. I don't know. Is it what happens before people go on shopping sprees as a result of Black Friday? I don't know. I'm totally guessing.
My God, you are far off. You were just
it has something to do with hugging. It's like when it get cold.
Who's further off, me or CA? Who's further off?
You were definitely further off. You were going through theft. You had people in jail with mental health diseases. So it's gonna be an interesting one tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow. Cuffing season with Dr. Edrika Richardson. We had
a flashback of when I was about 21, 22. I believe I was a cupper. So that's why I'm saying it has to be something but hugging. Because I was hired out.
It's not cupping, not CUPP. It's cuffing.
Cuffing.
Yeah.
I remember people was rent me out to hug them. So I think.
So were you a big model then or a skinny model? Because skinny models don't get paid to hug.
But see, I don't want to brag. When I was younger, I was big all over.
I can't say anything, Nahaja.
I don't even know why do we do this. Someone says it's also known as live blanket season. Live blanket season. All right, so tomorrow, Dr. Edrika Richardson, we're talking cuffing season. You're going to be quite entertained with that show tomorrow. I can put money on it. Okay, so before we go, I wanted your thoughts. So kids are being vaccinated. Well, not they are. Of course, children have been vaccinated. Once we got the Pfizer vaccine, children were getting vaccinated. From 12 to 18, I think was that vaccine there that was approved. And now we have a new vaccine, right? We now have a new vaccine that is approved for younger children, our primary school age children. Someone says, sounds physical. I had a Jamaican teacher that would threaten to cuff you.
Has been mild variant with our kids. Over the last year with the new Delta variant, we've seen an alarming increase of children being admitted for COVID.
Pediatrician Dr. Deshaun Saunders says young children are still at risk for developing severe COVID-19, and for some, the effects can be lasting.
We've had an increased number of children being hospitalized with COVID, some as young as 26 days. And when we look at the complications of COVID, we've seen a tremendous amount. We've had a lot of kids where it's affected their heart, where from MISC, which is multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children. As recent as last week, we just had a child that was discharged, and it caused long-term complications with his heart.
So if you're considering the vaccine for young children, here's what doctors say you should know.
It's a lower dose, so it's actually a third of the dose that an adult would get. They may have side effects, so they may have the soreness of the arm, the redness of the arm, they may have a mild fever, fatigue, but the side effects are very minimal.
As with many developments concerning COVID-19 and the vaccine, Dr. Saunders says there is a lot of misinformation on social media, but pediatricians can help to answer questions and concerns.
A lot of parents' concern is fertility, and it may affect their kids, but there is nothing related, and vaccines are safe, and vaccines have always been safe.
With schools reopening for hybrid learning in a matter of weeks, vaccinations are expected to help reduce the risk of severe illness.
Once the vaccine is available, to make use of it, it will actually improve school openings.
Reporting for our news, I'm Christina Dragovich.
All right, guys, your thoughts. What? Nothing?
My thought is it's a great thing. I know that, of course, I'm in a house with a pediatrician. My wife and my daughter is fully vaccinated at 15. But you're now talking about getting down to an age of 5. I can understand there'd be some apprehension just because of the tender age. But I agree. I concur with the pediatrician there, was it Dr. Johnson? I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. CA? Well, now we're gonna act like he's frozen now. Is that a good thing?
I like the word vaccine, and COVID, the COVID vaccine. The idea that it's being declared a vaccine. That's what stuck to me. That it's a vaccine.
I don't get it. I don't get it. What are you trying to say here?
I'm not comfortable with that wording, but it is what it is. I support people taking it. I've seen the ill effects of COVID. I've had a number of persons I personally know who have died. I don't want anyone to go through that. I've seen people who could not breathe and going to the hospital and being in the halls, and I can't handle that anymore, and whatever risk we need to take, I'm prepared to take it to make sure I can go through that.
I think too, we know that the Ministry of Education and the Minister, Glenys Hanna Martin, has been saying that there's been a huge problem with students who are supposed to be learning virtually but haven't been showing up. I think the Director of Education, Dr. Taylor, was saying up to 30% of students aren't attending virtual learning. So, anytime that we could find a way to have a catalyst for getting people back to school, so whether it be the vaccination or maybe eventually the pill, I see that's being developed. already and tested in some countries. That would be a huge game breaker. But we definitely need to get back to face-to-face schooling. And I think the introduction of vaccines for children from age 5 and up is going to help.
Yeah, I think there will be parents who will go ahead and have their kids vaccinated, and there will be others who will question and pause. And I won't lie to you, I'm going to pause for a minute. And we're going to see how it goes. It plays out just for me. And I like AZ though. I'm an AstraZeneca chick. You know, I like AstraZeneca. Apparently, we ain't got much in the fridge, so I don't know. And they don't have anything for kids, so that's very vexing. But we digress. You know, we'll see how it goes out. The good thing is it's not mandated, only for sports. So if your children are athletes, apparently they're fragile. You have to take that shot. I don't even understand that. I want to understand, Chris. Help me make that make sense, Chris. If you're an athlete, you need to get vaccinated. Break that down. I know you got this.
I have a hard time understanding that because I come from a long history of non-athletes in my family. So I can't relate to that shit. CA, I know you're an athlete. Help us out. You said you were big in all areas when you were younger. Help us understand this.
But I don't exercise anymore, you know, because I was disciplined when I was young, and it turned over to this elderly age. So, but athletes need to be vaccinated. That's what they say, and that's what it is. And I see that it's one of the protocols that the government has instituted. It's not necessarily the Athletics Association. The government has made it mandatory that these persons who are participating in sports must be vaccinated for COVID.
Yeah, that one
areas that follow suit.
Yeah, and everyone who supports, everyone who comes in studio, all the coaches, that it is seemingly mandated that they do so. I question all of that. I question all of it. I try to figure the rationale behind it. What was the rationale behind it? Because there are other places that are sketchy.
What did Kyrie Irving say about this as an athlete?
He said the world is flat. He said definitely said the world is flat.
It's a flat earther, right?
Kyrie would say there's 5G antennas coming right now in the sea. Kyrie's messed. He's messed up. The dude's crazy. We don't have that level of energy to be that crazy. I tell you that right now. Someone says I have an athletic type in my family, which is strange for my gene pool. Nikki is funny. I like her. All right, guys. So all of that said, you know, that one was interesting for me. And I think that, you know, that will be a debate with families. But again, that's not mandated. They're not mandating that this happens with your children at school. They haven't mandated anything, apparently, other than sports, which is the oddest thing. I still don't understand that one. I wonder if they copied and pasted this thingum, you know, we tend to copy and paste documents, right? I mean, who has time to really write legislation? We just borrow some, and then we might leave some parts and we didn't see. That might be it. But I don't know. Someone says athletes sweating, but is that how we get COVID, from sweat?
What do we consider an athlete? Is a golfer an athlete? Just asking for a friend.
That's called walking, but I understand. That's not,
a golfer is considered an athlete.
No,
that's walking. I mean, have you seen Tiger? He's lost his back. It's a sport. Okay, y'all stop hating. Golfing is a sport.
But Nahaja, before you go, I know that I try to be as data driven as possible. I would love to know the numbers for the public school system of how many kids thus far have taken advantage of this vaccination before school has opened up. What type of mechanism has the government put in place to encourage public school persons to be vaccinated? What is the numbers for the teachers? How many of them in the public school system is vaccinated? Yeah. These are the discussion we should be having. Shouldn't there be a pop-up vaccination center at each school that you could come in and make perhaps a week before school and say, man, I get vaccinated to go to school beforehand, right? Mm-hmm. I believe you facilitate parents and you facilitate kids. And knowing that we have a number of kids and parents in particular who are concerned, there needs to be a greater effort in convincing them, providing the information for them, and instead of just having it out there and say, okay, I give you it, and now it's up to you to take it. We need to shepherd our people. Our people need shepherds. You need to have that shepherd stick and guide them through the pathway, or we'll go astray and fall off the cliff. So I'm hoping that our Minister of Education shepherd these people?
Shepherd these people. You're just a hot mess. I think he said we need a shepherding stick. I think, well, we've been saying this a long time ago. Public education is important, right? And actually, if you hear, we are doing more ads, but it doesn't stop, it doesn't stop the fact that there are questions that need to be asked and answered very matter-of-factly. Like I still say at this point, when does it end? Give me more information. How can we call it a vaccine? Or say that we, are we saying that, hey, we're going to continue to get vaccinated, but then we know that you can still catch it. So it's not as if it's stopping it. So what happens if I catch it? Am I now ostracized again because I've caught it? But we're 80%. Wasn't that supposed to be natural herd immunity herd immunity levels? Do we keep counting the cases of COVID to keep the alarmist nature? Or are we going to find treatments that says, okay, listen, you got COVID. It's like, okay, we could treat this. And that is where we need to get to. Their treatment protocols. Like I said, I had Dr. Chetty on. There are things that we could be doing, but we're waiting, I guess, for this, I guess the big daddies to tell us what to do in this whole thing. I think that there has to be, we got to go. I hear my music. I know we got to go. You're listening to The Hit Back with Nahaja Black. See you, Nuri. Chris, we lost Chris. Everyone have a good day. See you tomorrow with Dr. E.